Welcome. In this video, we'll walk through the process of upgrading your organization's security posture from ESET Protect Entry to ESET Protect Elite, ESET's comprehensive XDR-enabled subscription tier. This upgrade is not a reinstall. It's a license tier upgrade, which means your existing ESET Protect infrastructure, managed endpoints, policies, and configurations remain fully intact. What changes is the feature set and capabilities unlocked by the new license. Now I would like to introduce to you Jesus Lopez from ESET. He will show you how to enable the additional features in Elite.
Hi, my name is Jesus Lopez and I'm a sales engineer with ESET. Today's session focuses on activating the additional protection modules available in ESET Protect Elite. Let's dive in. First, log into your ESET Protect Hub account. The link is going to be protecthub.eset.com. Next, let's go over to your subscription section. Under subscription, let's verify that your ESET Protect Entry subscription was upgraded to ESET Protect Elite. Next, under Dashboard, you're going to verify that ESET Protect and Inspect are already activated. For protecting your Office 365 and Google Workspace, let's make sure that we activate ESET Cloud Office Security. Let's go ahead and click Activate. Under the Data Center, let's make sure we select USA, and then let's hit Activate. Next, to protect your domain users with 2FA, let's make sure that we activate your ESET Secure Authentication. We'll go ahead and come over here, select Activate, and under the Data Center, let's do the same thing and select US, and then let's make sure we click Activate. All right, that's going to be it for the consoles. Next, let's go to your ESET Protect console. Inside the ESET Protect console, we're going to make sure that ESET LiveGuard Advanced, ESET Vulnerability and Patch Management, and ESET Inspect are enabled. Let's come over to the platform modules, and then let's go ahead and look for ESET LiveGuard Advanced. We'll click Enable. In this screen, you're going to have two options. Optimum Protection is going to restrict files from running until we have confirmed those files are safe to run. And then with Basic Protection, we're going to only stop the files until we have confirmed those files are malicious. So basically, we're still letting the file run until we have determined that file is malicious. We'll come over here to the targets. We'll select all devices. And then we want to make sure that any new devices that has ESET installed always has ESET LiveGuard Advanced enabled as well. We'll click Enable, and then we'll go to ESET Vulnerability and Patch Management. We will now scroll down until we find ESET Vulnerability and Patch Management, and we'll click Enable. From this screen, we're going to build our patch management strategy. In this case, I'll leave these two settings as default. I want to make sure that ESET automatically patches my third-party applications and also keeps up my OS vulnerabilities set to auto-update. Keep in mind, we are able to modify these settings through a policy. We could customize it. We could do several other things. But for this video, we'll go ahead and keep it to basics. We'll come down, and then we'll make sure that we select the targets to our devices. And then I always want to make sure that any new device has ESET Vulnerability and Patch Management up to date. We'll click Enable. And now we're going to move to the ESET Inspect piece. In my case, I will scroll up. ESET Inspect is going to be all the way to the top. I'll click Enable. I'll make sure that is set to all devices. And then I'll agree to the terms and conditions. I'll click Enable. And ESET Inspect will be enabled on all the devices that have the ESET Management Agent and the ESET Endpoint Security. Okay, next, we're going to move over to enabling MDM for iOS and Android devices. And then we're also going to touch ESET Full Disk Encryption. To start managing your iOS devices or protecting your Android devices, we have these integrations to easily enroll your mobile devices. Microsoft Entra ID, Apple Business Manager, Microsoft Intune, or VMware Workspace. If you don't have any of these, we could come over here to the computer section, and then we select your company. From here, we'll go ahead and click Add Device. We'll select Android or iOS. We'll accept legal documents, and then we'll go ahead and enroll with QR code. We'll type in the device name and we'll click generate QR code. Once you scan the QR code with your mobile device, just follow the steps on this mobile device. And then once you're done with that, we'll click close. We'll click close again, and your mobile device will be showing up in here. Once it's checking in, you come over here to the mobile devices, and we'll click here, view details, and then we'll verify that the device is checking in. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move over to ESET full disk encryption. Getting started with ESET full disk encryption is really easy. First, we'll select the machine that we want to encrypt. We'll click the three little dots. We'll select platform modules, and then we click enable encryption. And then from here, we'll click enable, and then ESET full disk encryption is going to get installed on your device. All you have to do now is just follow the prompts, and then once the machine reboots, ESET full disk encryption is going to start encrypting the device. If you want to set up a startup password, you could do it from here. If you do want to modify other settings, we could do that through a policy. Inside the policy, you could modify things like set up single sign-on for full disk encryption. You could force TPM encryption. You could go ahead and only encrypt use space, and so on. So you do have other things that you could set up. Once the machine is encrypted, we could click the three little dots, view details, and then from this screen, you will see that ESET full disk encryption is enabled. All right, next, let's go ahead and come over here to the 9 little dots, and then we'll select Cloud Office Security. So that way we can go ahead and protect your mailboxes from Google Workspace or Office 365. To start protecting your mailboxes with ESET Cloud Office Security, we'll start off by selecting Add Tenant. We'll select your license. We'll select Next. And then from here, we'll go ahead and select your tenant. We'll click Add Tenant. And then we'll just wait for Microsoft site to pop up. We'll select our admin account. We'll enter our password. And we'll click Sign In. From here, we'll make sure that we approve the permissions. And then once this finishes off, it's going to send us right back to our ESET Cloud Office Security. All right, tenant was added. Once that's done, we can come over to the user section and we'll have our users in here. We have two options. We could start off by protecting one user. We'll hit protect, or we could go ahead and click all users, hit actions, and then protect all your mailboxes. From here, we're going to make sure that every single mailbox is protected from phishing, spam, and malware. This is how easy it is to set up ESET Cloud Office Security to start protecting Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace. All right, last, we'll click the 9 little dots and we'll come over to ESET Secure Authentication. Inside the ESET Secure Authentication console, we're going to set up the AD synchronization agent so we could go ahead and bring our domain users in. And then after that, we're going to install the Windows login and RDP component. Okay, let's come over to the component section. We'll click installers. We'll click create installers. We'll name it. And then we'll select the ESET Secure Authentication Synchronization Agent. We'll click New Installation of Application. And then we'll click Live Installer. If you're not planning on installing it today, make sure that you add more time. And if you do want to set up a backup, you could use it or set it up to 2. We'll click Create. And then we'll go ahead and download this installer and install it on one of my domain devices. All right, once you install it on your domain device, we'll click Users, And let's go ahead and verify if your users are there yet. All right, next, let's come over to the component section. And then we'll go ahead and create an installer for your Windows login and RDP. We'll type a name and RDP for my machine. We'll click ESET Secure Authentication Components. We'll click New Installer, Live Installer, Product Setup. We'll click Windows Login and Remote Desktop. We'll go ahead and click Create. All right. From here, make sure that you install it on one of your devices. And then once that is set, we'll click Close. We'll come over here to the Users section. And then we could go ahead and enable it on one of your users. You click on one of your users, you enable the one-time password and mobile application push, type in a phone number, and then once you enable this, you send the application to your mobile device, and the ESET Secure Authentication and the token will be sent to that device. Just follow the steps on your mobile device. And then next, I'll show you how it will look on the Windows workstation. Once ESET is installed on your workstation and the user is protected with 2FA, you come over here, you enter your password. All right, once it logs in, it's going to connect to the ESET Secure Authentication server. And then on your mobile device, you should get a push notification. You'll click Accept, and ESET is going to let you log in. All right, next thing, if you did set up RDP as well on another workstation, you try to RDP to that device. We'll click Connect. We'll type in your credentials. And then once you try to RDP, it's going to prompt you for the push notification. You click Accept. And now your user is going to be protected via Windows login and also RDP. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch how to upgrade from ESET Protect Entry to ESET Protect Elite. This is a quick checklist. We started by activating the ESET Cloud Office Security Console. We also activated the ESA console. Then we move over to the ESET Protect console, and then we enable ESET LiveGuard. We also enable vulnerability and patch management, and we deploy the XDR connected to all your devices. We then moved to getting started with MDM, and then we showed a quick deployment of the ESET for this encryption. And then finally, we integrated ESET Cloud Office Security with Microsoft 365, and we showed really quick how to get started with ESET Secure Authentication. So I hope you find this video useful, and until next time, thank you.